Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching this from. And this is going to be a small talk on seeing how far you've come. So, excuse me. Yeah. So, I wanted to actually delve into this topic because I feel like most of the time I myself get so caught up in what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? Why isn't anything that I've planned so far working out? Did I do something wrong? Did I make the wrong choices down the line? In the past, did I not fight for my dream? That's why I'm here. Did I do some messed up sorcery with myself or jinx myself altogether? So now I'm suffering the consequences of my actions? Probably. But it's something that I want to think about or I wanted to talk about rather, because I feel like I get so caught up most of the time with that, like thinking about the future and, like regretting the position I'm in right now or positions I find myself in that are completely self-inflicted, by the way. It's not the fault of anybody else. I feel like it's all on me because I've made decisions, I've made choices that were influenced by other people, but ultimately it was down to me. So I guess, there's no playing victim here or there's no calling anybody out of that because I made the choice in and of itself. So that's on me. But but yeah, what I wanted to touch on is that because I feel like all of us, not just me, of course, because I feel like everybody goes through this, is that we get so caught up in where we are now. If it's not in a good space, if it not most likely or most probably it's gonna happen, or you're gonna have this instances when you're not in a good place. Because I mean, if you are, then you're gonna be appreciating it and not taking it for granted and being grateful for the position that you're in. But when you're in those tough and struggling times, you start to look back and be like, where did I mess up? Or what did I do that got me into this place? And you start beating yourself over it. You start degrading yourself. You start degrading all of your efforts all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, no logical reason whatsoever. Because I do believe that, you know, sometimes, sometimes when you're thinking that, it's probably because you haven't done much. And sometimes it could be the other way around, is where you've done so much, but you didn't really get the opportunity, or really didn't give yourself the opportunity to appreciate everything you've done so far. So you've taken that for granted, and you feel like you've done nothing when you've done so much. So yeah, it's something that I wanted to look into, because as I mentioned, I find myself getting into these states where I just stare up at the wall of the house, of the room, on my bed, or when I'm sitting on the couch and there's no music playing or whatever, and I just look up at the wall and I'm like, man, where did I go wrong? What did I do? Uh, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to be in that, because you can't really appreciate everything good that happened. You're only focusing on all the negative, or wondering what you did wrong, when you've done so much right in and of itself in the grander scale. I feel like, uh, when I was thinking about regret so much, and I often think about that a lot. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's pointless as well, because a colleague of mine also said this to me when I was talking to him about it. He told this line. He said that it's something that you shouldn't regret, or choices that you made, you shouldn't regret it, because it's something you can learn from. It's something you can grow from it. And what I wanted to touch on that is, as well, from a person who said it. I forgot who it was. I'm sorry, but it was along the lines of you made that choice at that certain point in time because you thought it was the right thing to do at that point in time and that certain situation and scenario. So you did what you thought was the appropriate action that was called for, and therefore you shouldn't regret it, even if the outcome wasn't the one you expected to happen. And I feel like, wallowing in that regret and, beating yourself up, it's it's not just, yes, it can motivate you if you think about it the right way to keep you going and to not slow down, to not be lazy, to not slack off or take things for granted. But it can also be in a destructive way, which I want to avoid myself, and I hope we all avoid it, is that, you know, looking back on your past and, just envisioning it as such a failure is such discredit to you yourself, in terms of all the effort you put in so far, the fact that you're still here up until this day, living, breathing, uh, it could be also discredit to your home, to the people around you, because you've met them because of what you went through. You've connected with certain people, you've built relationships, you've fostered, fruitful conversations with certain people because of what you went through and because of the person you are today. So I think it's all a matter, at the end of the day, again, it all goes back to a matter of perspective, because you can take it one way or the other. There's always negative and positive to both sides. So I guess it's best to look at it on the brighter side, because given all that you went through, I know it can get cloudy in your head or in your mind when you're thinking about all the mistakes you've done, because they normally outweigh all of the good stuff. But if you look a bit closer, or wipe the fog off your lenses or your vision, you get to see that there were some really awesome, some really beautiful, and some really heartfelt moments that were there, that came out of that dark place that you were in, whether it be getting a new friend or being closer with a certain family member, or just building yourself up to be stronger, healthier, more wiser, and emotionally and mentally and spiritually more stable. It might have rekindled your connection with God as well. So uh, yeah, it's all worth taking into perspective. And the one thing that I want to really hone in on this talk, and the thing that I keep straying away from, I'm sorry for that, but what was the title of this video, which was seeing how far you've come, because whether we like to admit it or not, we've grown. Whether that be in a destructive way or a productive way, all of us grew from what or who we were back then in the past, a day ago, year ago, decades, you know, ago, to who we are now. I bet if you look yourself in the mirror and you see your younger self, you'd be like, who am I? Who is this guy? Or you wouldn't be able to recognize yourself anymore, because you've changed so much, you've grown so much. And you know, being able to appreciate what's happening around you now, all the good, despite you're not where you want to be, despite where your life is going, despite how messed up your situation might be now. You know, it's doesn't discredit you know the steps that you've taken or how far you've come so far, up till this point, because let's face it, I mean, you wouldn't be here right now if you gave up a long time ago because of all the regrets. we wouldn't be here stronger, more wiser, more emotionally, mentally, and spiritually mature if you hadn't gone through all that you went through. You know, if your life was so perfect and the way that you wanted to, what you wanted it to be, would you be this driven? Would you be this, this determined to do the things that you wanted to do? This kinder, this more gentle and compassionate person. It's something that also my sister said, like out of the blue one time when we were chatting. It's like she said something along the lines of, like if you had the opportunity to pursue your passion and you took it, would you be this hell bent? Would you be this driven? Would you be this, disciplined and hardworking towards it if you had that opportunity to go big when you had the chance to? And honestly, after carefully, I never really gave her an answer because I was shell shocked by the question she asked at that young of an age. So I was just shocked at her like maturity in terms of her mentality and how she thought. But reflecting upon it now, I probably wouldn't. You know, if I just got it handed to me and everything went dandy and my parents agreed to help or let me pursue my passion instead of taking the logical route and doing a job, I probably wouldn't have been this hellbent, posting like every 1 or 2 days, posting on the page, writing books and so on every now and then, contemplating on books and going out to these spoken word poetries every now and then when I have the chance to just show my work, to get it out there, to get out of my comfort zone and meet new people and you know e- explore the many wonders of life. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have taken it would have taken it for granted knowing myself back then, you know and it it may be it may be a sad note to say, but if that opportunity ever comes again, or uh, if it doesn't come again, then oh well, what to do? You know, I had to learn the hard way. So yeah, but I feel like if it does roll around, fingers crossed for all of us. I mean, if we do get our break, if we do get that well-deserved opportunity that we've been longing for, I feel like now, given everything that we've been through, uh, I can't really say for you guys watching, but for me, I know that knowing how hard it is for me to do what I want to do, I feel like if I had the opportunity to do it full time, and if I had the opportunity to go at it, you know, with full throttle, not having anything holding me back, not having to work any job on any other job just to survive, earn, so on. I, I damn sure wouldn't take it for granted, not one bit. I would be working on it every single day, and I would be, just just making the most out of it, never taking a single second of it for granted, because I know that it's what I've prayed for, and it could be gone in a single second. It's just like it's the same thing with how we never take for granted our loved ones and the relationships we foster with them, because we know that it could all be gone in the blink of an eye, just like that. So yeah, I feel like and I know that that could really help if you're in a dark place right now, or if you're in a tough spot, to just close your eyes, silence everything around you, don't listen to music or anything like that. Just sit by yourself, meditate, close your eyes if you have to, or pray as well, if that's what you're into. So, and just carefully, you know, unbiasedly look back on your life and see how far you've come. It got me being more grateful for where I am, being more grateful for the people around me, and being more grateful and more excited for little, victories I get along the way, no matter how small. Whether it's you guys, commenting on my post, saying how much it means to you or how much it, impacted you or resonated you with you in a certain way, and it's getting you to, move forward. That, you know, seeing now, seeing myself now, I feel like that in and of itself gives me more joy than seeing awards that have my name on it, or to being an quote unquote author, having the title of that. Of course, that's still something I'm gonna strive for, but it ain't the, let's just say it ain't the end all be all, you know, because I know that, life is more than your passion, life is more than your job, life is more than what the world labels you. It's who you are, it's what you make of it. So, I mean, if we all thrive to just build connections, live a fruitful life, live every day like it's our last, never taking any moment for granted, then, I mean, to hell with regrets, right? So, yeah. Uh, so, yeah, I hope you guys took something away from this. I know it's a little bit more jumbled up again, but yeah, hope you guys took something away from this, and hope you have a great day. Take care.